void of politics, fear of favor. The majority leader, Mahama Ayariga, has strongly condemned what he described as the unacceptable conduct of military personnel, including the distraction of the culturally significant stage and act of brutality against civilian. In a prior statement issued on Monday, July 14th, the Bawku Central Member of Parliament demanded an immediate investigations by the military high command into the incident that occurred on Sunday, July 13th. So there was a brutality at Bawku, the course of the week, that has to do with the conflict and everything. Now, I want us to focus on something here. You see, we talk about issues and then we take it for granted. Yes, it's good that militaries are not supposed to brutalize civilians or something. But let's also take note. This conflict has been there for God knows how long it is. And he's actually calling for, he's calling for a peace, like an agreement between the two parties, so that peace can reign. And also calling on or talking against the brutality that occurred in the previous week. We saw what happened at Ablekuma North last week, Friday. We saw flying pythons, we saw fire rangers, we saw kung fu powers. It wasn't easy. You see, we always say that you can gain the power today and do whatever you want to do, but don't forget that you won't be there for long. It's not a permanent something. It's temporal. You might be given a power today to hand a particular activity or to ensure the affairs of a particular office, but it's not going to be long. You might be there for maybe 20, 30 years, and then after that, you will be pushed out. Someone will definitely come in. And you see, our public officials, if they are doing something and you are trying to tell them that no, you see, although you are my leader, but at least if you are doing something wrong, I'm not a leader, I'm just a worker, but if not for anything, I can as well tell you that, oh, can we do it this way? It will better all of us. We saw what happened. We saw how members of parliament were beaten. We saw how youth organizers were beaten. It's not nice. In fact, I'm against it totally, because even reporters were beaten as well. A reporter for GH1 was slapped in the face. A reporter for ATV was sprayed in the face with pepper spray. Reporters were brutalized. Journalists were beaten. We saw it, and it's not good for our democracy. What happened in Ayawasu West Wagon was what actually happened last week, Friday, at Ablekuma North. We have seen, we are continually seeing history repeating itself, and it's bad. And it's like a payback something. You've done this to me, and since I'm in power, I have to pay you back. And we saw how, I don't know whether he's a tag, I don't know how he fly. That's why I said a flying python. Kung fu powers. How he pushed Hawakumsi on the ground. And you see, immediately her car got there, they want him. This is not Kaswa. That is why we always say that paint a good image out for yourself out there. Yes, you were a member of parliament before. You are also a minister for fisheries and aquaculture. You were given power. And you don't know who you've offended. People have you at heart. And immediately she got there, it's like hell. And she also came with a pepper spray. It means she got herself prepared because she knows something like that is going to happen. And it's bad. It's bad. Because trust me, if MPP should come into power right now, I'm sure they're also going to retaliate. I'm not saying the tax, as it stands now, we have no proof to say that maybe the tax were from the MPP or the tax were from the NDC. We cannot justify it as it stands now because there is no evidence to prove that. But this is what we are saying. If you've been given power, know how to use it and not to misuse it. Because what happened on Friday was serious. Very serious. I've seen how the youth organizer for MPP was beaten. Beaten, oh, this is not something small. He was beaten as if a kid that is asked to go to school and he said, I'm not going to school, and then they sit you there and then they are lashing you left and right. That is what happened. And it's totally bad. It doesn't speak well of us as a country. And this is not what we want to see. What happened at Ayawaso, we condemned it. We said a lot. Even with Ayawaso, they've lost. We have people that lost their lives. And as to now, people behind it are not being arrested. Nobody was arrested. And that is what we saw what happened on Friday. If what happened at Ayawaso West were gone, we took it so seriously. We arrested the people behind that. We arrested the people that slapped Samnate George. He was also slapped. No one was arrested. Nothing was done. And so they saw that as a privilege to do more. So if these people who were also responsible for beating these people we saw on Friday, if we allow them to go scot-free, then it means we should be ready and prepare, because it's going to happen in the next, who knows? And now, as it stands, we have a by-election at Akwatia. We are hoping that everything goes on safely. We don't need conflict. We need peace to reign. Whether it's MPP, whether it's NDC, whether it's PPP, whether it's NDP. At the end of the day, let peace reign. And that can only happen if the culprits are arrested and they are made to face the book. If not, then we should get ourselves prepared, because we are going to see more than what we saw on Friday. Thank you for making time with me on the Grill.